What if the fiercest battle you face every day isn't out there in the world, but inside your own mind? Imagine for a moment the endless noise, the rushing thoughts, the doubts that creep in, the fears that weigh you down. You're not alone in this. Most people carry this invisible struggle, this constant war between hope and worry, strength and hesitation. It can feel overwhelming, like a storm raging inside you, tearing at your focus and your peace. But what if I told you that this battle doesn't have to control you? What if there is a way to train your mind, to become the calm in the chaos, the steady force that never breaks no matter what storms come your way? That secret isn't hidden in some far-off place or complicated theory. It's ancient, simple, and powerful. It's the secret of Stoicism, a way of thinking that shapes the strongest minds, a way to take back control when everything feels like it's slipping through your fingers. Right now, your mind might feel like a wild river, unpredictable and rushing fast, but it doesn't have to stay that way. Imagine turning that river into a steady stream, controlled and purposeful, flowing exactly where you want it to go. Imagine waking up each day with a mind trained to see clearly, to face challenges without fear, and to act with courage no matter how uncertain the world feels. This isn't some far-off dream, it's a promise waiting for you to claim. The power to change your mental landscape is already inside you, and Stoicism is the key that unlocks it. Why should you keep listening? Because what you learn here has the potential to transform everything. Your fears, your doubts, your sense of helplessness. It can turn frustration into focus, anxiety into action, and hesitation into unstoppable courage. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment or the right conditions. The tools to master your mind are available now, and once you grasp them, you will never see your struggles the same way again. This journey is not about denying your feelings or pretending everything is perfect. It's about learning how to respond to what life throws at you with strength and grace. It's about understanding that you can't control everything, but you can control how you respond, and that response, calm, deliberate, courageous, can change your world from the inside out. You have the power to stop reacting to chaos and start creating calm, to stop feeling like a victim of circumstances and become the master of your mind. The battle inside your head is real, but the victory is possible. The secret is not to fight harder, but to fight smarter, to train your mind like a muscle, to build resilience and clarity that can't be shaken. This is the promise of Stoicism. So stay with me, because what you're about to discover could change how you live every single day, freeing you from the noise and fear and guiding you to the strength and peace that are already waiting inside you. The secret I spoke of, the key to mastering your mind, is Stoicism. It's a philosophy born thousands of years ago, yet its power is timeless. It's not a complicated theory or an abstract idea. It's a practical guide for everyday life, a mental toolkit designed to help you face pain, uncertainty, and stress without breaking down. What makes Stoicism so powerful is its focus on what truly matters, what you can control, and what you cannot. This simple truth, when fully understood and embraced, changes everything. Imagine no longer being tossed around by every thought or feeling, no longer a prisoner of circumstance. Instead, you become the calm center, the steady anchor in any storm. That is the promise Stoicism offers. You might wonder how an ancient philosophy could help with the chaos in your modern life. The answer lies in its clarity and simplicity. Life will always be unpredictable, filled with hardships you can't avoid. But Stoicism teaches you to focus your energy where it counts, on your own thoughts, actions, and choices. You cannot control what others say, what happens in the world, or even many events that unfold in your day. Trying to control the uncontrollable only drains your energy and steals your peace. Stoicism offers you a different path. Accept what you cannot change without resistance and commit fully to what you can influence, your own mind and your responses. This mindset rewires your brain in profound ways. When you stop fighting external forces you cannot change, your mind finds space to breathe and grow stronger. Anxiety fades because your focus sharpens. You build a shield that protects you from being swept away by fear or anger. Instead of reacting impulsively, you gain the power to choose your response. This is not weakness. It is strength beyond physical force. It is the quiet courage of knowing that no matter what happens, your inner world remains intact. The impact of this shift goes far beyond temporary relief. It builds resilience, the kind that stays with you through every challenge. When life tests you, and it will, your trained mind doesn't crumble. It meets hardship with clarity, steadiness, and calm. This creates a deep sense of freedom. Freedom from the endless cycle of worry and regret. Freedom from the emotional roller coaster that drains your energy and clouds your judgment. Freedom to live with purpose, no matter what storms rage around you. By embracing Stoicism, you are choosing to train your mind like an athlete trains their body. Daily discipline and awareness replace chaos and distraction. You develop a mindset where fear loses its grip and focus becomes second nature. This is not about being emotionless, it's about mastering your emotions so they serve you rather than control you. You learn to see the world clearly, without the distortions of panic or anger, and respond with strength and grace. This is the foundation of true mental power, the ability to stand firm inside, regardless of what's happening outside. The world will always challenge you. People will say things that hurt, events will surprise and test you. But when your mind is trained in stoicism, these challenges become opportunities. Opportunities to show your strength, deepen your wisdom, and move forward with unshakable courage. You don't just survive the storm, you become the calm eye at its center. This is the power waiting for you. This is the secret that can change everything. At the heart of this transformation lies one simple but profound truth. You can only control your own thoughts and actions. When you grasp this, the chaos of the outside world begins to lose its power over you. The urge to fix everything, to control outcomes, or to fight against every hardship starts to fade because you realize it's a losing battle. The moment you focus solely on what is within your control, a remarkable shift happens inside. Anxiety eases, your mind clears, your energy becomes focused and unstoppable. This is the mental freedom that so many seek but few find. It is the foundation of strength, resilience, and unwavering peace. Learning to let go of what you cannot change is not surrender, it is mastery. Imagine your mind as a fortress. The external world may throw rocks, storms, and chaos against its walls. But if the gate remains strong, and your defense is well trained, nothing breaks through. This fortress is built not with brute force, but with disciplined thinking. It requires daily practice, deciding in every moment what deserves your attention, what thoughts to nurture, and which to let go. This discipline rewires your brain to become more focused, less reactive, and more courageous. You build a mental shield that blocks out unnecessary fear, anger, and doubt. What remains is clarity, calm, and control. When you begin to accept this truth, you no longer waste energy fighting things beyond your reach. This acceptance is not resignation, it is freedom. Freedom to direct all your effort toward the things that actually move your life forward. You stop being a slave to circumstances and become the master of your own responses. This mindset rewires your brain's neural pathways, making resilience automatic, not a struggle. The more you practice, the stronger your mind becomes, until you respond to difficulties with a steady heart and clear mind, even when chaos surrounds you. Every thought that pulls you toward worry or blame is an invitation to redirect. Every moment you feel overwhelmed is a chance to remind yourself, I control my mind, my choices, my actions. This repeated exercise builds an unshakable confidence. You begin to realize that your greatest power is your response. You may not control the storm, but you control your calm. You may not shape the world, but you shape your peace. This is the profound strength that Stoicism teaches, a strength rooted in clarity, acceptance, and focused action. Your mind, once a wild torrent, becomes a steady stream flowing with purpose. You gain control over your emotions instead of being controlled by them. This mental training rewires your brain to focus on progress, not perfection. It cultivates patience, courage, and the ability to act decisively despite uncertainty. The mental freedom you gain transforms every challenge into a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. It changes how you face fear, how you handle setbacks, and how you navigate life's unpredictability. This is the power that comes when you stop fighting the uncontrollable and start mastering your own mind. This is the secret that will make you unstoppable, not because life becomes easier, but because you become stronger. You don't just endure the storm, you stand at its center with calm, clear resolve. This is your mind, trained and ready, your greatest ally in the battle for your life. This is the beginning of your true mental mastery. Your perception shapes everything you experience. The way you see the world, your thoughts about events, people, and yourself, creates your reality. This is not just philosophy, it's a psychological fact. Every challenge, every setback, every moment of doubt is filtered through the lens of your mind. Change the lens, and the entire picture shifts. Stoicism teaches you to take control of that lens. It shows you how to view obstacles not as threats, but as opportunities. How to see criticism not as attack, but as information. How to regard failure not as defeat, but as a lesson. This shift in perception rewires your brain to stop reacting automatically to pain and fear, and start responding with clarity and strength. When you learn to control your perception, you reclaim the power that fear, anger, and frustration once had over you. Instead of feeling like life happens to you, you begin to realize life happens through you. Your mind becomes the artist painting the canvas of your experience. No matter what the outside world throws your way, your perception colors your response. This is the difference between living a life controlled by circumstances and living one where you are the master of your own reality. This control is not about ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It is about choosing how you interpret pain and hardship so they no longer dominate your mind and heart. This shift doesn't just reduce suffering, it ignites courage. When you see problems as challenges to overcome, not barriers to stop you, you unlock a well of strength that was always inside you. You begin to move forward with confidence, no longer paralyzed by fear of failure or judgment. Your mind trains itself to spot the opportunity in every difficulty, the lesson in every mistake, the growth in every struggle. This is mental resilience, the ability to bounce back stronger, to keep going when others give up, to face uncertainty with a steady heart. Perception also affects your relationship with yourself. How you think about your abilities, your worth, your potential shapes your actions. A mind trained in Stoicism learns to see itself with honesty and kindness, not harsh judgment or doubt. It develops self-trust, the quiet confidence that no matter what happens, you have what it takes to handle it. This self-trust is the foundation of true courage. It fuels every step you take toward your goals and every choice you make to rise above fear and hesitation. Changing your perception is a practice, a daily commitment to challenge your automatic reactions and replace them with intentional perspective. It demands awareness and courage, but the reward is freedom. Freedom from being a victim of your thoughts, freedom from the prison of negative emotions, freedom to live with purpose and power. You become the author of your own experience, writing each day with clarity and control. This is how Stoicism trains your mind to be unshakable. It teaches you to see clearly, to think deeply, and to respond wisely. It changes the way you experience life so profoundly that you no longer fear what comes your way. You meet every moment with strength, calm, and focus because your perception has been transformed. This is the power you hold, the power to shape your mind, your life, and your destiny. The secret is in your view. Change your view and you change your world. Your emotions are powerful, but they don't have to control you. Stoicism teaches that emotions are not enemies to be fought or suppressed, but signals to be understood and guided with reason. When fear, anger, or sadness rise inside you, they can overwhelm and dictate your actions, or they can become messages that prompt thoughtful response. This shift, from being ruled by feelings to mastering them, creates a profound freedom. You learn to pause before reacting, to see your emotions clearly without being consumed by them. This is emotional mastery, and it changes everything. Science confirms what Stoicism has known for centuries: the ability to regulate emotions strengthens resilience and improves decision-making. When you manage your feelings wisely, your brain's stress response calms, allowing clarity and focus to emerge. Instead of spiraling into anxiety or anger, you choose how to respond. This isn't about pretending emotions don't exist or pushing them away. It's about holding them in your hand, examining them, and deciding what action serves your highest good. The mind trained this way becomes a fortress of calm and reason amid chaos. Imagine facing a crisis, a moment when fear wants to paralyze you, when frustration screams to give up. With emotional mastery, you don't deny those feelings, but you don't let them drive your choices either. You observe the fear, acknowledge it, and then act with courage anyway. You feel the frustration but use it as fuel to find solutions, not excuses. This balance between feeling and thinking is what makes Stoic strength unbreakable. It's not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of control. This control comes from understanding that emotions are not facts, but responses. They can mislead if left unchecked, magnifying problems or clouding judgment. Stoicism trains your mind to question emotional reactions and choose deliberate actions instead. This ability to pause and reflect before acting rewires your brain, making calm, wise responses your default. The more you practice, the more automatic this becomes, transforming how you live each day. Fear no longer freezes you. Anger no longer consumes you. Sadness no longer traps you. Instead, you meet each feeling with awareness and choose your path forward. Emotional mastery also deepens your connection with yourself. You develop compassion for your own struggles and patience with your imperfections. This self-awareness is not weakness. It is strength in its purest form. It builds a foundation of inner peace and confidence, so your mind remains steady when external storms rage. You become your own ally, capable of facing hardship with dignity and grace. This inner balance ripples outward. As you master your emotions, you influence the world around you with calm and clarity. You respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. You create space for solutions instead of chaos. This is the power of emotional discipline, quiet, steady, and unstoppable. It's a force that shapes your reality and anchors your peace. Mastering your emotions is not a destination but a practice, a daily commitment to self-awareness and reason. Each time you choose calm over chaos, you build strength. Each moment you respond with wisdom instead of impulse, your mind grows stronger. This is the transformation Stoicism offers. The power to feel deeply but act wisely, to experience fully but remain unshaken. This is the heart of true courage and the key to training your mind. Discipline is the bridge between your intentions and your reality. Without it, even the strongest desires can fade into frustration and regret. Stoicism teaches that true power lies not in fleeting motivation, but in steady, consistent discipline. This is the force that trains your mind to act with purpose every single day, no matter how you feel or what obstacles arise. Discipline builds habits, mental routines that shape your responses, focus your energy, and strengthen your willpower. It is the backbone of mental mastery and the foundation of lasting change. Your mind craves structure. It thrives when guided by clear, purposeful actions repeated over time. Discipline carves neural pathways that make resilience and calm your natural state. Each small choice you make, to breathe through anxiety, to face fear instead of avoiding it, to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively, is a brick laid in the fortress of your mind. This fortress grows stronger with every disciplined decision, protecting you from chaos and doubt. The path to mental freedom is not paved by grand gestures, but by daily commitment to self-control and awareness. The challenge is that discipline often feels difficult because it asks you to act beyond momentary feelings. When motivation wanes, discipline carries you forward. It is what allows you to rise when you want to stay down, to keep going when everything inside you screams to quit. This is why training your mind through Stoicism is so powerful. It rewires your brain to find strength and consistency, not in bursts of inspiration. You develop a mental toughness that is quiet yet unyielding, a resilience that holds steady even when life tests you hardest. This mental toughness transforms how you approach challenges. Instead of fearing discomfort or uncertainty, you learn to embrace them as necessary steps on the path to growth. Discipline gives you the courage to face pain without avoidance, to endure setbacks without despair, and to push through obstacles without surrender. It trains your mind to keep showing up day after day with unwavering focus and commitment. This consistency builds momentum that becomes unstoppable. The mind shaped by discipline does not crumble under pressure. It thrives on it. Discipline also sharpens your clarity. When your mind is trained to focus on what truly matters, distractions lose their hold. You develop an ability to prioritize your actions, cutting through noise and confusion to pursue what aligns with your deepest values and goals. This clarity is a powerful motivator. It fuels your sense of purpose and drives you to act with intention. Every disciplined step you take strengthens your sense of control and moves you closer to the life you want. The transformation that discipline brings is not just external, it's deeply internal. It cultivates patience, humility, and self-respect. You learn to honor your commitments to yourself, to celebrate progress rather than perfection, and to keep faith in your ability to change. This inner strength becomes a source of peace amid chaos and a wellspring of courage when fear arises. It is the quiet power that makes you unshakable. This is the essence of Stoicism's training for the mind, discipline that builds resilience, focus, and courage. It is the daily practice that turns intention into reality and fear into freedom. When you commit to this discipline, your mind becomes a powerful ally, capable of facing any challenge and rising beyond it. This is the path to mental mastery, the secret that turns your mind into your greatest strength. Focus is the weapon that cuts through distraction and doubt. It is the concentrated energy of your mind directed toward what truly matters. Without focus, even the greatest discipline can scatter, and your efforts become diluted. Stoicism trains your mind to sharpen this focus, to hold it steady despite the noise of fear, temptation, and uncertainty. This clarity of attention is not accidental. It is cultivated through intention and practice. When you master focus, you become unstoppable because your actions align perfectly with your purpose. Every moment your mind wanders is a choice. Every distraction is an invitation to lose your power. But the trained mind resists these pulls. It recognizes that focus is not a natural state but a skill to be strengthened. It requires awareness to notice when your attention drifts and courage to bring it back again and again. This repetition builds mental muscle until concentration becomes effortless. Like a lens focusing sunlight to ignite a fire, your focused mind ignites the power within you. Focus also transforms how you experience time. Instead of being scattered and overwhelmed by endless tasks and worries, you enter a state of flow, a deep immersion where productivity and creativity peak. This flow state is where growth happens fastest because your mind is fully engaged in the present moment, free from the distractions of past regrets or future anxieties. Stoicism teaches that by accepting what you cannot control and directing your energy to what you can, you enter this powerful zone where progress becomes inevitable. The ability to focus builds emotional resilience as well. When your mind is clear and centered, fear and anxiety lose their grip. Distractions that once triggered panic now bounce off your awareness without pulling you under. You develop a calm certainty that whatever comes, you can handle it because your attention is anchored in the here and now. This grounded presence is the essence of mental strength, the strength to face life's challenges without being swept away. Clarity of focus also sharpens your decisions. When your mind is trained to prioritize what matters most, you no longer waste energy on trivial concerns or fleeting worries. You become decisive, acting with confidence and purpose. This decisiveness fuels momentum, creating a virtuous cycle where each success builds your belief and each obstacle becomes a test of your resolve. Focus allows you to cut through confusion and fear, revealing the path forward clearly. As your focus strengthens, so does your ability to manage your inner dialogue, the constant thoughts running through your mind. Stoicism teaches that many of these thoughts are false alarms, distractions from what really matters. A trained mind learns to question these thoughts, to let go of those that serve no purpose, and to nurture those that empower. This mental clarity quiets the noise within, allowing your true self to emerge, a self that is calm, courageous, and clear. Focus is not a one-time achievement, it is a daily choice and practice. Every moment you reclaim your attention from distraction, you strengthen your mental armor. Every time you direct your mind toward what truly matters, you grow stronger and more resilient. This is the power Stoicism offers, the power to focus your mind like a laser, cutting through chaos to create a life of purpose and peace. It is the secret to transforming your mental energy into unstoppable strength. Control over your thoughts is the foundation of true freedom. The mind often feels like a wild place, filled with racing ideas, doubts, and fears that pull you in every direction. But Stoicism reveals a deeper truth. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer, the force behind the steering wheel of your mind. When you understand this, you reclaim power over your inner world. The endless chatter no longer dictates your emotions or actions. Instead, you learn to choose which thoughts to entertain and which to release. This is the secret to lasting peace and strength. Thoughts have immense power because they shape your reality. Every belief you hold, every idea you nurture, becomes the lens through which you interpret life. Negative, self-defeating thoughts limit you. They keep you trapped in cycles of doubt, fear, and frustration. But when you learn to observe your thoughts without judgment, you create space between stimulus and response. This space is where freedom lives, the space where you decide how to think, feel, and act. Stoicism trains your mind to expand this space until it becomes your natural refuge, a place of calm and clarity amid any storm. This mastery of thought begins with awareness. The moment you catch a negative or unhelpful thought, you stop being its victim. You recognize it as just a passing event in your mind, not an unchangeable truth. This awareness allows you to redirect your thinking toward what serves your growth and well-being. It is a daily exercise in mental discipline, but the rewards are profound. You break free from the chains of limiting beliefs and open the door to confidence, hope, and action. Reclaiming control over your thoughts also rewires your brain. Neuroscience shows that repeated mental patterns strengthen neural pathways, making those thoughts automatic. By consciously choosing empowering thoughts and letting go of harmful ones, you reshape your mental landscape. This rewiring creates a mind that naturally leans towards strength, resilience, and clarity. Your default mindset becomes one of calm control rather than chaotic reaction. The power to direct your thoughts builds emotional resilience as well. When your mind is trained to hold space for uncomfortable or difficult ideas without being overwhelmed, fear loses its hold. Anxiety fades because you no longer feed it with catastrophic thinking. Instead, you approach challenges with curiosity and calm. This mental training transforms stress into a manageable signal rather than a paralyzing force. You become capable of facing uncertainty with courage and grace. This control also deepens your sense of self. When you see that your thoughts are not you, but tools you wield, you reclaim your identity from the noise. You become grounded in your values and purpose, not swayed by fleeting moods or external pressures. This inner grounding creates a steady foundation of confidence and peace that nothing outside can shake. Choosing your thoughts is not about ignoring reality or pretending everything is fine. It is about responding wisely, with awareness and intention, to whatever life brings. It is the difference between being controlled by your mind and using your mind to control your life. This is the true secret Stoicism offers, a mind trained to think clearly, act courageously, and live freely. It is your greatest power and your ultimate path to transformation. Freedom comes not from changing the world around you, but from changing the way you relate to it. Too often, we waste precious energy trying to control what lies beyond our reach, other people's actions, unexpected events, or outcomes that are uncertain. Stoicism reveals a profound truth. Real power comes from focusing on what is within your control, your thoughts, your choices, your actions. This shift in focus liberates your mind from endless frustration and worry. It creates an unshakable peace rooted in acceptance and purposeful effort. When you grasp this, life's challenges lose their grip on your spirit. The things that once overwhelmed you become opportunities to practice resilience. The disappointments that used to crush your hope now become lessons that strengthen your resolve. This is not resignation or passivity. It is an active, courageous stance that says, I cannot control everything, but I can control how I respond. This mindset builds a fortress of inner calm and strength that no external chaos can penetrate. Acceptance of what you cannot change does not mean giving up on your goals or dreams. Instead, it frees you to direct your energy where it truly matters. It sharpens your focus on actions that make a difference. This clarity is empowering because it eliminates wasted effort on futile struggles. It teaches you to channel your willpower toward meaningful steps, even when the path is uncertain or difficult. This focused effort creates momentum that propels you forward with purpose and confidence. By embracing this principle, you stop being a victim of circumstance. You reclaim your role as the architect of your own life. Each choice becomes a declaration of freedom and strength. Even in the face of setbacks, your mind remains steady, anchored in what you can control. This mental resilience is not just comforting, it is transformative. It turns obstacles into stepping stones and hardship into fuel for growth. This mindset also reshapes your relationship with fear and anxiety. When you understand that worrying about things outside your control is futile, those fears begin to lose their power. Anxiety fades because you no longer waste energy on impossible battles. Instead, you focus on cultivating calm, rational responses to the challenges within your reach. This shift lightens your mental load and creates space for clarity and courage. Living this way requires constant practice. The pull to control the uncontrollable is strong because it feels like safety. But real safety lies in the strength to accept uncertainty and act with integrity regardless. Stoicism trains your mind to choose this strength repeatedly, transforming acceptance from an idea into a habit. With every choice to focus on what you can change, your freedom grows. This freedom is not abstract, it is deeply practical and deeply personal. It gives you power over your inner world, the true source of peace and happiness. It frees you from being tossed by the storms of life and places you firmly in the driver's seat. This is the essence of Stoic mental training, to find freedom within, no matter what life throws your way. It is the key to mastering your mind and mastering your life. Gratitude is the unexpected key that unlocks mental strength and clarity. When your mind is fixated on what is missing, broken or wrong, it becomes trapped in a cycle of dissatisfaction and negativity. This drains your energy and clouds your vision. But when you intentionally shift your focus to what is present, good, and possible, your mindset transforms. Gratitude rewires your brain to notice opportunities instead of obstacles, to find meaning instead of despair, and to fuel hope instead of fear. This simple shift is a powerful tool in Stoic mental training. It grounds you in reality while elevating your spirit. The practice of gratitude is not about ignoring difficulties or pretending life is perfect. It is about choosing to acknowledge the strengths and blessings you already have, no matter how small they seem. This recognition creates a foundation of mental stability that supports courage and perseverance. When you hold gratitude in your mind, you are less likely to be overwhelmed by fear or doubt. Your focus sharpens on what you can build from, rather than what you wish were different. This focus becomes a source of motivation that keeps you moving forward, even in the toughest moments. Gratitude also deepens your connection to yourself and the world around you. It opens your awareness to the many ways you are supported, through relationships, experiences, and even challenges that teach resilience. This awareness fosters humility, reminding you that you are part of a larger whole and that your efforts matter. It shifts your mindset from isolation to belonging, from scarcity to abundance. This sense of abundance is not about material wealth, but the richness of life's simple gifts: breath, health, a chance to learn, a moment of peace. The power of gratitude lies in its ability to interrupt negative thought patterns. When you catch yourself spiraling into frustration or despair, intentionally recalling something you are grateful for rewires your brain. It triggers the release of dopamine and serotonin, chemicals associated with happiness and calm. This biochemical shift not only elevates your mood but enhances your capacity to think clearly and act decisively. Gratitude becomes a mental reset button, restoring balance and focus when chaos threatens to overwhelm. Moreover, gratitude strengthens your emotional resilience. It helps you maintain perspective when setbacks occur by reminding you of the progress already made and the inner resources you possess. This perspective reduces the emotional weight of failure and disappointment. You learn to see challenges as temporary and surmountable, not as permanent defeats. This mindset fosters hope, which is essential for sustained effort and growth. This practice also nurtures self-compassion. By recognizing your efforts and growth with gratitude, you soften harsh self-judgments and cultivate patience with yourself. This kindness fuels motivation, rather than draining it. When your mind is trained to balance self-awareness with gratitude, It becomes a fertile ground for transformation. Gratitude, at its core, is a choice, a daily commitment to notice and appreciate what is good in your life. This choice rewires your mental habits, strengthens your emotional foundation, and empowers you to face life's challenges with courage and clarity. It is an essential pillar of Stoic mental training, guiding you toward a life where peace and power coexist. Through gratitude, your mind becomes not just strong but also deeply wise. Discipline is the bridge between who you are now and who you want to become. It is the daily commitment to showing up, even when motivation fades or challenges rise. Without discipline, good intentions remain dreams, scattered like leaves in the wind. Stoicism teaches that discipline is not about harshness or deprivation. It is about aligning your actions with your deepest values and goals. This alignment fuels a sense of purpose that transcends fleeting emotions and external distractions. Discipline creates structure in your life, a reliable framework that guides your choices and preserves your energy. When your mind is trained to follow this structure, resistance weakens, excuses, the procrastination, and the self-doubt lose their grip. This mental training turns discipline from a burden into a source of freedom. Because true discipline frees you from chaos and indecision, giving you control over your time, your habits, and ultimately your destiny. The power of discipline lies in its consistency. It is not about rare moments of greatness, but steady, repeated actions. Each small step taken with intention builds momentum. Each disciplined choice strengthens your willpower, making the next step easier. This compounding effect transforms the impossible into the inevitable. You become the architect of your future, crafting it moment by moment with deliberate effort. Discipline also builds confidence. When you keep your promises to yourself, no matter how small, you prove that you can be trusted. This trust deepens your self-respect and dissolves inner conflict. You no longer sabotage your goals, because your mind knows you are reliable. This inner reliability becomes a foundation for courage, allowing you to face uncertainty and adversity with steadiness. Mental discipline shapes your emotional responses as well. It trains you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. When difficult emotions arise, a disciplined mind pauses to assess rather than explode. This pause creates space for wisdom and calm action. Over time, discipline builds emotional resilience, making you less vulnerable to the roller coaster of highs and lows. You become anchored, able to maintain focus and clarity even under pressure. Moreover, discipline strengthens your ability to delay gratification. In a world that often rewards instant pleasure, Stoic discipline trains you to prioritize long-term growth over short-term comfort. This ability to wait, to endure discomfort for a greater purpose, is a hallmark of true strength. It rewires your brain to value meaningful progress above fleeting satisfaction. This shift is essential for achieving goals that require sustained effort and patience. Discipline is not rigid or unfeeling. It is a practice of self-love disguised as effort. By committing to discipline, you invest in your growth and well-being. You honor your potential and protect it from the distractions that weaken you. This commitment is a powerful declaration that your future matters more than momentary ease. Discipline is the secret weapon that turns dreams into reality. It is the daily courage to choose growth over comfort, purpose over distraction, and action over hesitation. Through discipline, your mind becomes a fortress of strength and clarity, ready to face any challenge and seize every opportunity. It is the cornerstone of Stoic mental mastery and your pathway to lasting transformation. Your thoughts shape your reality in ways you may not fully realize. Every idea, every belief you hold acts like a seed planted deep within your mind. If nurtured, these seeds grow into habits, attitudes, and ultimately the life you live. Stoicism teaches that the power to choose these seeds, the thoughts you cultivate, is yours alone. This choice is the foundation of mental mastery. When you begin to guard your mind as fiercely as you protect your body, you create a fertile ground for strength, clarity, and transformation. Negative thoughts are the most dangerous seeds because they breed fear, doubt, and paralysis. They convince you that you are weak, powerless, or undeserving. Left unchecked, they grow into mental weeds that choke out hope and action. But when you learn to recognize these thoughts as just thoughts, not facts or commands, you begin to break their power. This recognition is the first step to uprooting negativity and planting seeds of resilience, courage, and confidence instead. Training your mind means actively choosing the thoughts that serve your highest purpose. This is not a passive process, but an act of conscious rebellion against the default mental noise that seeks to drag you down. Each time you shift your focus from fear to possibility, from defeat to determination, you water new seeds that will shape your character and destiny. This act of choice rewires your brain, creating new neural pathways that strengthen positive thinking and emotional control. The science behind this is clear. Your brain's plasticity means it can change throughout your life. What you focus on becomes stronger. What you ignore weakens. When you habitually choose empowering thoughts, your mind naturally inclines toward hope, resilience, and clarity. This shift is not instant, but with consistent practice, it becomes automatic. Over time, your mental landscape changes from a battlefield into a sanctuary. This sanctuary is where true freedom lies. It is a place where you are not captive to fleeting emotions or external circumstances. Instead, you stand firm, rooted in your values and purpose. This inner strength gives you the courage to face life's inevitable challenges without losing your peace or direction. It is the ultimate form of self-control, the ability to shape your inner world regardless of what happens outside. Every thought you choose to nurture is a declaration of who you want to become. When you commit to this mental discipline, you are investing in your future self. You are telling yourself that you deserve a mind that empowers rather than enslaves. This commitment fuels confidence and dissolves self-doubt because it comes from an unshakable inner truth. You are the guardian of your mind and your life. Choosing your thoughts is a daily practice that requires vigilance and courage. The mind will resist change because old habits feel familiar and safe, even if they limit you. But the path to transformation is paved with small, consistent acts of choosing differently. Each time you catch a negative thought and replace it with one that uplifts or clarifies, you build momentum toward mental freedom. This power to shape your mind is the heart of Stoic training. It is not about ignoring reality, but about responding wisely and intentionally to it. When you master this, you unlock the secret to lasting peace, strength, and success. Your mind becomes your greatest ally, a source of unwavering courage and limitless possibility. Your emotions are not your enemies. They are signals, powerful messengers from your mind that demand attention. Yet the true mastery lies not in suppressing emotions, but in understanding and directing them. Stoicism reveals that when you train your mind to observe emotions without being controlled by them, you gain an inner fortress. This fortress protects you from being swept away by anger, fear, or despair. Instead, you learn to harness these forces, transforming raw energy into focused action and clarity. Emotions arise naturally and swiftly, often overwhelming your rational mind. This is a universal experience, one that can either weaken or strengthen you depending on how you respond. The moment between feeling an emotion and reacting to it is where your power resides. Cultivating awareness in this space allows you to pause, assess, and choose your response with intention. This pause rewires your brain, turning automatic reactions into deliberate decisions aligned with your values and goals. When you begin to see emotions as data rather than directives, you unlock a profound shift in how you experience life. Anger, for example, can be a sign that your boundaries have been crossed, prompting you to stand firm with courage. Fear signals uncertainty, inviting preparation rather than panic. Even sadness carries the depth of connection to what matters most, urging reflection and growth. By respecting emotions without surrendering to them, you build emotional intelligence, a skill that anchors you in storms and empowers you to lead your life. This mastery is not achieved overnight. It requires consistent mental training. Each time you recognize an emotion rising, acknowledge it and choose how to act, you build neural pathways that strengthen self-control and resilience. Your brain learns that you are the leader of your inner world, not a victim of external chaos. This training transforms emotional turbulence into clarity, confusion into calm. Emotional mastery deepens your sense of freedom. When you are no longer driven by every impulse or overwhelmed by every wave of feeling, you reclaim your power. You become the calm in the storm, the steady force moving toward your purpose despite challenges. This strength inspires confidence and builds momentum because it comes from within, untouchable by outside circumstances. Moreover, managing emotions wisely allows you to maintain relationships and communicate with impact. When your responses are thoughtful rather than reactive, you create space for understanding and connection. This emotional clarity fosters respect from yourself and others because it demonstrates control and maturity. It is a powerful way to influence your environment while preserving your peace. The emotional training of the Stoic mind also teaches patience. You learn to sit with discomfort without rushing to numb or avoid it. This endurance strengthens your mental muscles and deepens your self-awareness. Over time, patience becomes a wellspring of wisdom and calm that guides every decision and action. Emotional mastery is the gateway to mental freedom. It transforms vulnerability into strength and chaos into order. By training your mind to meet emotions with awareness and intention, you unlock the secret to living with courage, clarity, and unshakable peace. This is the heart of Stoic mental discipline, the power to turn every feeling into fuel for growth and every challenge into a step forward.